Chair, I want to make a quick comment. Chair, may you protect me from Senator Mogeni? Mr. Speaker, Senator Mogeni is heckling.
Sen.Eddy. Senator Mogeni, what is your intervention? You still not to be settled. What is your intervention?
Yes.
Have a seat, Senator Eddy.
My neighbor, Senator of Migori, should know there is some language which is unparliamentary, including using the word heckling. Now, Mr. Speaker, I wanted to inform Senator Halwale that he should not mislead the country by making reference to the Senator of Mombasa 001 as being one of the lawyers who have been inducted into the role of senior counsel. For the record, Senator Halwale, Senator of Mombasa 001, has not been inducted to the role of senior counsel. So you are out of order by referring him to senior counsel Mohamed Faki.
Senator Eddy, proceed to conclude.
Chair, I hadn't even started yet, so I'm just starting.
Proceed.
Chair, I wanted to make a quick comment on a very important issue that Senator Onyonka has raised in this House through this statement on a possibility of auditing all our minerals and being able to account for all those minerals plus those companies that are involved in them, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I think this is a very, very serious statement that as a country we must start thinking very critically about the minerals that we have and how we explore them. Because in the current world order, Mr. Speaker, you cannot think about any better opportunity that you can have as a country than any rare minerals that you have in the country to the extent that you can invest in them, Mr. Speaker. I want just to give an example, Mr. Speaker, that the current world order, you cannot think about areas of investment without thinking about what raw materials go into renewable energy. And because of the competition in the world in the area of technology, any smart technology for any smart electronic devices, Mr. Speaker, you cannot have them without thinking about raw materials that are coming out of this country. And Mr. Speaker, there is something called rare earth elements, which if you look at the demand of rare earth elements in the world, Mr. Speaker, at the pace of growth, by 2027, rare earth elements will have a 14% demand. Now, rare earth oxide alone, if you look at China, China has got about 85% control over rare earth oxide. And in this country, Mr. Speaker, our potential for rare earth elements is up to, in fact, over $100 billion. And Mr. Speaker, when you look at our current foreign policy, there is no articulation of even exploration of rare earth minerals in Kenya when we are engaging with the world superpower in terms of technological advancement like the United States. You would have expected that if we are going to the United States, we have got accounts of these rare earth elements and the minerals that are ensuing from them, like in a county in Kwale, Mr. Speaker, where we have got amazing rare earth elements that have been estimated by experts that could be able to fetch this country even $35 billion, Mr. Speaker. And our debt that we are struggling with the country today, Mr. Speaker, is barely $100 billion. If you have got rare earth elements in this country that can be able to, if we invest in them, they can be able to give us even up to $100 billion, Mr. Speaker. It will be very, very important that in this new broad-based government that we have, we start thinking critically about data-driven mining, data-driven decision-making in the mining sector, so that we see whether we can be able to explore our minerals to be able to deal with the issue of critical debt stock that we have in this country. Therefore, I want to support this statement and particularly draw the attention of this committee to look at the potential of Kenyan economy with regards to rare earth minerals that we can be able to explore and go ahead and even indicate how much money we need to inject in that sector and the potential revenues in terms of investments vis-a-vis returns of those investments that can be able to make. Because as somebody who has looked at in this issue, Mr. Speaker, I am sure if you pumped 1.5 billion into the rare earth minerals in this country, you can make up to 30 billion at any given time. That means that every annual turnover on these issues, we can be able to actually even make money that can be able to guarantee us returns that can deal with debt. So I support this statement, and I hope that the relevant committee will look at it.
Senator Mungatana.
Bwana Spika, ningependa kuchukua nafasi hii kukushukuru kwa kunipa nafasi pia na mimi nichangie maoni yangu kuhusu hoja ambayo imeletwa hapa na seneta wa Meru. Bwana Spika, Judicial Service Commission ni kati ya zile jopo ambazo zinaweza kuangalia makosa yoyote ambao mahakimu na majaji wanafanya katika kutoa zile hukumu zao. Kwa hivyo ningependelea pia kamati hiyo ya JLAC waangalie kama wanaweza kupeleka malalamishi kirasmi kwa Judicial Service Commission kuhusu hukumu ya huyu judge ambaye amesema kwamba kazi ambayo Senate ingefaa ifanye ipelekwe kwa Njuri Chenki. Pia Bwana Spika, kuna hili jambo la kwamba jaji wa mahakama kuu ya Kenya anasahau ya kwamba yule aliyechaguliwa pale ambaye ni governor wa Meru amechaguliwa na watu wote wanaoishi pale Meru. Mimi najua kuna Wapokomo, kuna Waorma wanaoishi pale Meru, kuna Wagiriama, manake Meru ukiwa unashuka hivi wanatuletea miraa sehemu ya huku kwetu, na kuna watu ambao wanaenda kufanya biashara kule na wamechukua kadi zao za kura kule. Kwa hivyo ikiwa kwamba kuna makosa ama kuna issue yoyote ya kutatuliwa, kwa nini judge anafikiria watu wote wapiga kura wote wa Meru ati ni wa Meru, kwa hivyo wanaenda kwa Njuri Chenki? Kuna wapiga kura pale ambao ni wa makabila tofauti, hata Wakisii wako pale, si ndio? Hata Wakikuyu wako pale, ambao ingekuwa ni makosa sana kwa jaji mzima kusema hawa watu wote hawa waende kwa Njuri Chenki ambayo ni ya kabila moja. Kwa hivyo tunataka Judicial Service Commission iseme kitu, na tunaomba kamati hii yetu ya JLAC pia ifikirie namna ambayo tutafanya malalamishi kirasmi kwa Judicial Service Commission kuhusu hukumu hii ambayo inapotosha watu wa Kenya na inahujumu mamlaka ya bunge la Senate. Asante Bwana Speaker.
Senator Joe Newton.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I also rise to support this statement by the Senator for Meru, who doubles up as the Deputy Speaker of this particular House, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this ruling by this particular judge was very disappointing. Why? Because when the County Assembly members of Meru decided that they wanted to impeach Governor Kawira once again, they knew very well that there was Njuri Chenki in Meru. Kawira herself, the governor, also knew very well that there was Njuri Chenki in Meru in place. And she chose to take the matter, or whoever took the matter to court knew very well that there was this particular council, Mr. Speaker. And so I think the judge was out of order because you cannot refer. Mr. Speaker, I can liken it to somebody who has gone to a chief, who knows there is a chief, but goes to a DO. Then the DO tells them, go back to the chief. Mr. Speaker, this particular judge abdicated his responsibility. Mr. Speaker, when Governor Kawira was brought here for the last time on impeachment charges, she actually used Njurinteke as her defense. And in that defense, Governor Kawira convinced this Senate that actually her impeachment had been engineered by MCAs through Njurinteke. So, Mr. Speaker, we cannot then, this judge could not then have, was actually again out of order to have referred the matter to Njurinteke, which Governor Kawira already had submitted before this honorable house that it was behind her impeachment last time. And so, Mr. Speaker, this is a judge, for lack of a better word, that is irresponsible, and a judge that abdicates his responsibility. And even without discussing his conduct here, a committee, the JSC should do something about this judge, and the jailer committee in this house, Mr. Speaker, should also pursue this matter, and if possible, see whether these...
Sorry, Senator Kongo Mugeni, what is your point of order?
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, I appreciate the magnanimity of the issue at hand. But, Mr. Speaker, we also have, we have to be guided by our standing order, especially standing order number 1, which prohibits us from discussing the conduct of the judge. What we should be doing is to critique the content. 101.